What's up, Dobsters, Dodecahedrons, Dob Marleys? So today I'm going over a couple of trades that happened in our new league. Not as many as the other one, although that same owner is in this one as well. This one, his name is Dogs Only. I think that was kind of uh, a shot at him. It's obviously with the Georgia Bulldogs because our commissioner is a Bulldogs fan, and he made his team that name, and then he just kept it. So yeah, his name there is Dogs Only. But anyway, he ended up trading, or okay. So I'm going to share like what he added. So he ended up adding 1.09, which ended up being Quinshawn Judkins. He had a 3.03, which he picked a linebacker. He picked up 3.08, which ended up being a defensive end. He picked up a 2026 top five first. Definitely going to be top five, so that's really important. He picked up Tua. He picked up George Pickens, and he picked up another linebacker. It came out to for a keep trade cut. It came out to 26,444. And then he traded away Ricky Pearsall, Wandale Robinson, Marshawn Lloyd, Jameson Williams, Anthony Richardson, and a 2026 mid-first, and that came out to a 24,956. So he won the trade in about 2,000 or so. And like I said, don't ever take the keep trade cut as the Bible. Like it's just there for a where you're at for when you're trading. Usually you want to keep it within I like to keep it within at least like 1,000. Even that's getting you know, you're considered to be losing the trade, but I mean, like it's just there for like a an example. It's not there for like the Bible, or whatever. But so he ended up winning the trade, 26,444 to 24,000. Oh, I'm sorry. When I put them head to head, sometimes they upscale the trade based on who's involved. So he actually won 28,921 to 24,956. That was because most likely the first they have to inflate it to know if it's like because it just says early first, so that could be, in my opinion, 1.01 to 1.05. So they kind of inflate it right there. Looking at it, to me, like he definitely won with 1.09 Quinchon Junkins and then George Pickens and the 2026 top five first for sure. He did lose Ricky Pearsall, Jameson Williams, and 2026 mid first. Those were like the true components that I was looking at. If you want to consider Anthony Richardson, that's fine. I don't think that he's that great. I also don't believe in Ricky Pearsall at all, but I'm a Florida fan, so Ricky Pearsall and Anthony Richardson didn't really play well for us. Yes, I know Ricky Pearsall had that one-handed catch. That was like the highlight of his college career. He could turn out in the NFL. I don't know. I'm just saying what I saw in Florida, I didn't really like. You can't say anything to me about Anthony Richardson, so that's going to change my mind. He never improved within the 3 years that he was there, so don't even try, but whatever. To each its own. So yeah, in my opinion, he did win his trade, like all of his trades together. I think he will come out as like a winner. His team ended up being Jalen Milroe, Tua, Jake Browning. His running backs are Keon Mitchell, Jonathan Brooks, Kenneth Gainwell, Khalil Herbert, Ashton Genty, Quinshawn Judkins, and Kamani Vidal. And then his receivers are Tutu Atwill, Drake London, Ted McMillan. This guy loves Ted McMillan. He actually had him in both drafts, so I guess that was his guy. Chris Olave, Josh Palmer, George Pickens, and Brian Thomas Jr. And then for his tight ends, he has Jake Ferguson's and Jatavion Sanders. He has obviously a 2026 top five first next year, but that's all he has. He has his 2027 first, third, and fourths, and all of his 2028 picks. He's looking in a good position right now. I could see him challenging, at least being in like the playoffs for the next, couple of years. Depends how, all of his young players do. Ashton Genty, Quinchon Judkins, Ted McMillan, Ryan Thomas Jr. if he continues, and then whoever he spends his 2026 first on. So altogether, he did that. So I'm going to go on to another person who actually made a lot of trades. It wasn't me this time. I didn't make actually too many. I don't think I made any trades. I'll have to look at that, but I'll give you an update later. But anyway, this guy, his name, he's in quite a few leagues. His name is the Dawn of Fantasy. So yeah, good play on word, I guess. There, I don't think his name is Don. I think his name is Anthony. But anyway, that's his name, is the Dawn of Fantasy. Cool. Anyway, he added Anthony Richardson, 2.05, which ended up being Kyle Williams, Chase Brown, Jawan Jennings, and that all came out to 17,132. And then he traded away Tua, George Pickens, Cooper Kupp, Tank Dell, a linebacker, and that all came out to be 15,219. And then when I put them all together, it came out to him winning 18,664 versus 15,219. In my opinion, looking at it, I don't like Anthony Richardson. Who knows about Kyle Williams? I didn't target him at all. I don't think we went over him. Maybe my buddy did. I'll have to watch the last video on Kyle Williams, like a scouting report. Chase Brown and Jawan Jennings are like the two good things for him. The bad things he gave away, I guess, were George Pickens, Cooper Kupp, Tank Dell. All in all, like, I would see that as even. I know, like, the thing said, like, it would be he won by 3,000. But like, I don't know. I guess I would put like Chase Brown and Jawan Jennings versus Tua, Pickens, Dell, and Kupp, and just I would call that even. I don't think. I mean, if Chase Brown comes out and he balls out this year, then sure, he like definitely won that trade. But George Pickens could also had a great year, and then Cooper Kupp, I think, is just going to be consistent for the next like 2 or 3 years. I'm the one that ended up trading for Cooper Kupp. I didn't like anybody at 2.05, that early. So I wanted to get like a sure depth receiver, and that's what I ended up doing. So Don's team ended up being, his quarterback is Jalen Hurts and Anthony Richardson. His running backs are Chase Brown, Rico Dowdy, Austin Eckler, Jordan Mason, Alexander Madison, Tony Pollard, and Devin Singletary. His receivers are Keenan Allen, who just signed with the Chargers again, Hollywood Brown, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Jawan Jennings, DJ Moore, and Kyle Williams. And then his tight ends are Zach Ertz, Mike Gesicki, Taysom Hill, and David and Njoku. And then he has only his 2026 fourth and all of his 2027 and 2028 picks. This guy is a championship caliber team. He has obviously the team to do it. Hopefully, for him, Jalen Hurts doesn't get hurt. His running backs, at least he has like depth, so he can, enter people. I guess he was going for Chase Brown as like his lead back, so he can put in like Ricky Dowdy, Jordan Mason, Tony Pollard, like all those guys that are interchangeable. And then his receivers are pretty good. Hollywood Brown, Stephon Diggs, definitely Justin Jefferson. DJ Moore will get his points, and then Jawan Jennings just has like a backup. And then of course he has David Njoku, and then Gesicki, and then Taysom Hill sometimes plays quarterback, so you get lucky with that sometimes. He's been trying to trade Justin Jefferson. We're probably going to talk about this one day because he's one of the bullies that we have in our league. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. So I wanted to go off like how our leagues differed in the way that people were picked. So I'll read off basically the first and second round. This might be a little bit too fast, but bear with me. I'll go kind of slow. So I'll start with the first pick and then go from there. So Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, Ted McMillan, Travis Hunter, Tre'Veon Henderson, Emeka Ibuka, Quinshon Judkins, Caleb Johnson, R.J. Harvey, Jaden Higgins, Colston Loveland, Cam Scadaboo, Tyler Warren, Matt Golden, Dylan Sampson, Cam Ward, Luther Burden, Trey Harris, Jack Beck, Jadon Blue, Jalen Noel, Jalen Milroe, Terrence Ferguson, Harold Fannin Jr., Kyle Williams, Mason Taylor, Bayshul Tootin, and a linebacker. For this most recent draft that we had, the top three stayed the same, and then I'll go over like a couple things that changed. That was pretty interesting. So for the league that we just completed our draft in, it went Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, Ted McMillan, Javarion Henderson, Emeka Buka, Travis Hunter, Matt Golden, Caleb Wilson, Quinshon Judkins, Trey Harris, Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, Cam Ward, RJ Harvey, Luther Burden, Jaden Higgins, Cam Scattaboo, Jack Beck, Kyle Williams, Dylan Sampson, Terrence Ferguson, Bayshal Tootin, Jalen Noel, Mason Taylor, Pat Bryant, Elijah Arroyo, Jackson Dart, and Deontay Thornton. Like I said, the top three stay the same. A couple of different moves. Matt Golden went 1.14 in one league and 1.07 in the other, so a 7-pick difference. That's what you're going to get with these kind of drafts. I felt like the top 5, top 6 were going to be relatively the same. To tell you the truth, I thought the top 8 were going to be relatively the same. Matt Golden went a little bit later I specifically didn't really like Matt Golden, but I could see him going in the top 8, so it makes sense that he went 1.14 in one and 1.07 in the other. RJ Harvey went 1.09 in one league and he won 1.14 in another, so a 5-spot difference. Jaden Higgins won 1.10 in one league and 2.02 in another. We have 14-team leagues, so it was a 6-pick difference there. And then Cam Scattaboo went 1.10 in one league and 2.03 in another, which would be a 7-pick difference. This was the biggest one. Trey Harris went 2.04 in one league and 1.08 in another. So he jumped to the first round in one of our leagues, and that's a 10-pick difference. Like I said, guy must have saw something that he liked. We're not all, there's no experts. We're all doing our best. This is doing our best dynasty. So, it's what you see and how you scout people is how you're going to do it. So Trey Harris is a clear indicator of one of those that somebody saw what they wanted on tape and they decided to get up and get them. Jadon Blue didn't go until the third round in one league. Same with Jalen Milroe, and same with Harold Fannin, and same with Pat Bryant, and same with Elijah Arroyo. But they did go, all of them went in the second round of one of the leagues compared to the other, where they went third. Another one that had a difference was Kyle Williams. He went 2.05 in one of our leagues and 2.11 in another. So that's pretty cool. The interesting difference between one league versus the other. Most of our leagues are the same players that we have. We maybe have I think 4 people are different in these different leagues. So you'll notice a difference if you have one whole dynasty league as 12 different players and one whole other league as another 12 players, because you'll get a complete different draft. Just seeing 4 people different in our league, you see a huge difference in some of the people that were picked after 1.06. So I wanted to also add some people that you can add for depth that should cost under a first round. Some of these players include David Montgomery, Keon Coleman, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Mixon, Jordan Mason, Tony Pollard, Isaiah Pacheco, Zach Charbonnet, Najee Harris, Tyjae Spears, Rashad White, Ramondre Stevenson, Cooper Kupp, Christian Watson, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, Khalil Shakir, Marvin Mims, Romeo Doubs, Hollywood Brown, Quentin Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Wilson, Pat Freiermuth, Cade Otton, Chig Okonkwo, the tight end from Tennessee, Cole Kmet, Dallas Goedert, Mike Gesicki, Dalton Schultz, Jatavion Sanders, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold, Matt Stafford, Tua, and Geno. Those are just some players that you can trade for. You should be able to get for under first round picks. Some people might not want to trade one of their players for under that, And that's totally up to them. But you can try, one of these 20 plus players that I mentioned, just to help you with your dynasty draft, or yeah, just your dynasty draft in general, like for the future or whatever. Like for instance, I have Zach Charbonnet. I wouldn't give him up for under a first. Maybe if they threw in um, like a running back and like a high second next year, I might consider it. But like that's just me though. I wouldn't really trade Zach Charbonnet for less than like a first, just because he's young and I see him producing already in Seattle. But like I said, that's just like an opinion. That's just like how I feel about it. Um, that's how I kind of like rank him. I rank him kind of higher on the higher side than other people would rank him. But anyways, keep following. Like I said, going in the future, I'll give you some on Saturdays. Going start when the season's almost starting. I'm going to give you players that are going to hit a certain threshold of yards that I believe that they're going to get that week. And then some running backs that may get more specific yards or whatever like that. Like they're going to go over 80 or they're going to go over like 65, week. So, those types of things. So keep tuned and then let me know if you all have any questions or anything, or if you have any comments of like, why the hell is Trey Harris going, or Trey Harris going 2.04 in one league and 1.08 in the other league. Go ahead and ask away. We'll do some, deep research on that. So let us know. See y'all later.